All right, we talk about the rise of AI and the rise of real threats, life and death threats in this country that the FBI director, Christopher Wray, is going to spell out in about 90 minutes. This is not news for my next guest. Tom Siebel is the C3 AI chairman and CEO. And he was way ahead of a lot of folks to say, look, this is not a political issue for me. This isn't a left or right issue, Republican or Democrat, Biden or Trump issue. This is defense being a very, very big concern and our safety being an even bigger concern. He's kind enough to join us right now. Tom, it's very good to have you.
Great to see you, Neil.
Let's get your take on what the FBI director is going to outline, not so much to get into the politics of it, but the real threats that are alive and well. And you know, of course, at Siebel and defense being a big part of what you do, AI married to that being a growing part of what you do. So we have sort of like maybe we're numbed by this, Tom, but I'm wondering whether that, reaction we tend to give threats worries you. That, oh, yeah, I heard this before. We're hearing it again. No big deal. What do you say?
Oh, I think the threats from rogue states, bad actors, using particularly the AI involved in social media to disrupt society, to create civil disrest, to interfere with democratic processes is very real. I mean, it certainly happened in the 2020 election cycle, and it will happen in this election cycle in a bigger way. And this is something we need to be extraordinarily concerned about. And so these attack vectors are wide open. They're broadly utilized. And we have really nothing going on meaningful to defend ourselves from these attacks.
I always think of the potential of AI, where you had said not too long ago, we're now applying generative AI in all kinds of areas where we wouldn't have expected. And I was thinking, extending that, Tom, that so are the bad guys. Does that worry you?
AI is being used by bad guys in huge ways. I think when generative AI, this is where you get into deep fakes, and this is where you will be, and are today, it will be impossible to distinguish fake news from real news. It'll be impossible to distinguish the fake Joe Biden from the real Joe Biden. And so we're going to be, we will be confusing the electorate, we'll be confusing our citizens. And this will be very artfully done, and the risk is unbounded.
If I could step back and take a look at AI and how you treat it, I'm old enough to remember, you might be as well, obviously the internet boom that went bust. That didn't mean that every internet player went bust, but a good many did. Now, you have said, and I don't want to mischaracterize your comments, that we could go through the same with AI. Could you explain that? In other words, not everyone who's getting a lot of attention now will be around. What were you saying?
Well, we could argue that the internet was, overvalued in 1999 and 2000 when we had the dot-com incident, where the market corrected itself. And yet today, I mean, come on, the internet is what, 2-3 orders of magnitude larger than anybody envisioned then? Yeah. I mean, it's bigger than anybody could imagine. Now we have this enormous excitement about AI. This is not ephemeral. It does change everything. It changed businesses, it changed government, it changed defense. Will there be a correction at some point in markets as it relates to AI? Absolutely. Will it be this year, next year, or the year after? I don't know. But in the long run, AI changes everything, and virtually every piece of information technology that we use, be it broadcast, be it print, be it internet, be it phone, it will all be it manufacturing processes, travel, transportation, will all be driven by AI. So it'll correct at some point, because this is what markets do. But in the long run, this market is measured in trillions of dollars of revenue a year.
You mentioned that it'll correct, and that's usual. And we're seeing some of the high flyers like NVIDIA for a while, Apple, which has a tangential relationship with this whole AI thing, to put it mildly, where they have corrected. They have fallen 10% or more from their highs. Does that worry you?
Anybody want to bet against Apple in the long run? Holy moly. I mean, that's a machine. Or
what about NVIDIA?
Or Jensen. NVIDIA, I mean, I've known Jensen for decades. Anybody who bets against him is standing on the tracks. And,
so the sell-off that
you know,
we've been seeing in a number of those issues of late, and it's only of late, I want to hasten to add, I think we're still up, about 80% for NVIDIA this year. It's, of course, been a quadrupler over the last year. So I get that. But you don't worry about what we've been seeing over the last couple of days?
You know, Neil, I don't look at the market in days or weeks or hours. I mean, I haven't looked at the stock price for C3 AI. The first time I saw it was on your screen here in week. So I'm thinking years, okay? And you think 5 years, you think a decade, you think of what's going on in AI. However big it is today, it is orders of magnitude larger, okay, in 5 years. It is huge. At some point, will the market correct by 15%? It will. It does. We all know this. And then it comes back. And it's all good. It's going to be, you know, this is very much the real deal. It is important. And it changes everything. A lot of it for beneficially, but make no mistake, these warnings that we're hearing out of places like the FBI, okay, and the intelligence agencies, Neil, these are very real. We should be very concerned, and we should support our government in every way to try to get these things under control.
So that was interesting what you just said there, Tom, about not looking at your stock so much. And obviously that's a big part of your wealth and who you are. But really, you don't obsess with it, or you have so much money you don't really care?
Neil, we're you know, we have what, $750 million cash in the bank, something like that. Right. Okay, and we're I don't want to be glib because we pay respect to the market, but I don't need the market as a source of capital. Now, I'm here to take care of my customers. I'm here to take care of our employees, and if we do that, you know, you can turn the lights off on the New York Stock Exchange for 5 years, okay, and you turn them back on, all the investors are going to be happy. And so that's the time horizon that we're thinking 5, 10 years, and we're on a road. Our mission is to build one of the world's great companies and the world's leading company in enterprise AI.
I think you get the right thing and the right priorities. Tom Siebel, very good seeing you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Neil.